Hey guys, so today we have an analysis of the North Dakota Senate race between Kevin Cramer, the incumbent representative, and Heidi Heitkamp, the incumbent U.S. Senator. Now, this is a race that was originally deemed competitive, and it should be because Heidi Heitkamp is in a state that the president won by over 30 points. She's the Democratic incumbent, and she's going against a very popular representative. That's why it is competitive. But as the race got closer to this home stretch, it didn't seem as good as it was originally, right? Cramer plus four. That's fine, but not great for Heidi Heitkamp. She would want to close that gap by election day. Then all of a sudden, new poll coming out, Cramer plus 10. That was when it changed. From being a toss-up, maybe slightly tilt Republican, to a definite leaning Republican state. Then, Cramer plus 12. What that did is it moved it from leaning Republican to likely Republican. And then the three polls that followed all showed that. Now, final RCP average was Cramer plus 9. He went on to win by 10.8. That's a very, very strong showing for the GOP, right? Very strong showing. They did phenomenal in this state, especially compared to a Democratic incumbent, right, who lost by almost 11% in what was a year that they took the House by a wide margin. Again, very, very strong showing for the GOP. This is the race Democrats were most concerned about, and they should have been, because she went on to win by 9%. That's a poor showing for the Democrats in that state. Now, there are no more statewide elected Democrats in the state of North Dakota. Now, some people say that could be a bit sad, but, this is a Republican state, and Kevin Cramer probably was the right one to win this for how Republican the state is. Now, I'm not going to keep bashing Heitkamp, because she only lost by 10%. Now, and Clinton lost by 30%. Not a great showing for Heitkamp, but better than Hillary Clinton. And considering that Heidi Heitkamp actually endorsed Clinton, that's pretty interesting. And while she is kind of against Clinton now and more for Trump, that's probably because she was trying to win re-election. Again, that strategy doesn't work that often. It does work sometimes, but not very often. Joe Manchin is probably the main exception, because all of the moderate Democrats, Heidi Heitkamp, Joe Donnelly, Claire McCaskill, Bill Nelson, they all just kind of lost. Bill Nelson isn't really a moderate, but he lost anyway. He's probably going to lose anyway. Again, great showing for the GOP in the state of North Dakota. Now, let's compare it to the North Dakota Senate election in 2012. 60% of the population turned up, 56% of the population turned out in the state of North Dakota. That's actually quite surprising to me. I thought that the higher the turnout, the more in favor of the GOP it would be, since this is a Republican state. But I guess you could also make the argument that, well, many North Dakotans like her a little bit, and they're not really as enthusiastic to go out and vote. But then the Republicans that don't like Heitkamp, they're very enthusiastic to go out and vote. You could make either argument. But yeah, I think it's pretty good for the Republicans there. If we go ahead and compare it, if I can get this map to operate for me. I believe that's the 2012 results, so now let's pull up that result. Okay, so we can see that Heidi Heitkamp pretty much only only won a dozen or so counties, mostly in this eastern part, if I can do my geography of the state, and then 3 more counties in the middle, and then the rest was all swept by Cramer. Some of them, like these 2 counties, I don't know their names, but doesn't really matter. He won by like 80 to 90%. Now, Heitkamp still won these 2, this one and this one, by 80 to 90%. But still, pretty good news for them in that race. And then, if we compare it to the 2012 results, we can see that a few counties flipped. This one actually went from being Democratic by more than 50% to Republican by, let me just check that one, by Republican to something like more than 60%. So a big swing in many of the counties there in the state of North Dakota. All these counties in the eastern part, they all became less Democratic. You could see they were quite Democratic. They all became less Democratic only in kind of like the leaning column, except for that one. But pretty much, how do I get out of that? There we go. Again, pretty good news for the Republicans there in the state of North Dakota. And definitely a poor showing for Heidi Heitkamp, the incumbent. She won by 0.9% last time. Looking at the polling beforehand, polling probably gave a slight lean towards the Republican, actually, since many of the polls were done in favor of Heidi Heitkamp and the Democrat. Sabato and Rothenberg Political Report both gave a lean towards the Republicans. Overall, again, good showing for Republicans in this state. That's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much. Oh, I forgot to add one more thing. I predicted a likely Republican victory. That's 5 to 15%. And Kevin Cramer won by 11% about. So yeah, I got that one correct. So thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I'll see you all in the next one.